They could not point to a single post that I ever made that was factually erroneous.
Here is RFK Jr. Explaining, this is just a few days ago on Tucker Carlson's podcast, talking about how Kamala and Biden, basically the second they got into office, began to import illegals so that they could pressure companies to censor us. And then, of course, what that eventually turns into is having these people vote. Go.
37 hours after he took the oath of office, President Biden's White House opened up a portal for the FBI to begin to have access to social media posts on all the different social media sites. And the FBI then invited in the CIA, DHS, the IRS, and CISA. CISA is this new agency that is the center of the censorship industrial complex that is in charge of making sure Americans don't hear things that their government doesn't want them to hear. And those agencies and other agencies, including the health agencies like CDC, were given access to go into the social media sites and change posts and slow walk things and shadow ban posts. That it was part of that effort. They removed my Instagram account. I had almost 1 million followers. They say it was for misinformation, but they could not point to a single post that I ever made that was factually erroneous. And they actually, Facebook pushed back in the email chain. You can see Facebook pushing back at the White House and saying, well, wait a minute, he's not, this isn't misinformation. This is not factually erroneous. What they're saying is actually true. And they had to invent a new word, which is called malinformation, which is information that is factually true, but nevertheless inconvenient for the government. And that became disinformation, misinformation, and malinformation. That's what that is. So everybody, and
isn't that illegal? That's illegal.
Yeah, and the emails show that Facebook, the people said they were saying about the White House in their private emails with each other. These people are cynical, terrible people, and they knew what they were doing was breaking the law. But they were under tremendous pressure. I mean, Facebook has all these deals with the government and, as do all the media companies with the intelligence agencies and elsewhere. Plus, the White House was overtly telling them that they were going to, if they didn't comply, that their Section 230 immunity was in jeopardy.
There's so much there. And the fact, and we'll get more into this, and I'll have RFK back on again. And I think maybe we're going to try to do a live event with him and talk about the Trump situation and everything else. But there's so much interesting stuff there because first off, it should be noted that even if RFK Jr. with his 1 million followers on Instagram was sharing misinformation, getting something wrong, either intentionally or not, is not illegal. Right? Again, it would be against the First Amendment if you were like, shoot those people over there, burn down that church. That would be illegal. And I would be for having it taken down. And I would be for having the United States government go after the people that were doing such a thing. So he's going out of his way to give them more credit, I think, than they deserve. But in essence, he's saying, hey, look, it was Biden and Kamala that from getting into within 48 hours of being in the Oval Office, they opened up the social media sites to everyone. In July of 21, I put up a tweet that said the vaccines were not working as promised and mandates were coming. And I was banned from Twitter. We now know, again, I mentioned it, Jim Jordan told me that was taken down by the government. You do not get your apology.